When I lived some years in Geneva, I worked for a big financial company, an American one, by the way. I lived for some years, a good year, near of the CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, where the particles collide, the largest machine ever built by humankind. Definitely the most expensive one, I think. So the interesting thing about the CERN is that it's kind of supernatural being. Like it's untouchable. Technically, legally, it's untouchable. I know that because I had, these people that deliver papers from the court go to the CERN, maybe a good 10 years ago, as a journalist, and paid him for that, and he did that for 40 years. So he brings legal papers, the company, whatever you want to call the CERN, accepts them, and they were informed of these legal papers. Only that he was very surprised when I met him again. He said, I've never seen that before in my whole 40 years of career. They didn't want to accept the paper. They said, we don't need to accept them, go away. So that's the CERN. If you want to research that more, learn more. So I interviewed some scientists. I interviewed twice the quite famous Professor Dr. Otto Rössler in Leipzig. Now I'm a bit in Germany anyway, and it was quite interesting. He was the most public safety. What do you call that best? Because critic is not really the right word, at least not for him. Became clear when I interviewed him. He was an advocate for a safety conference about the security at the CERN, a wide conference. And me too. I'm the same. I'm of the same. Now the thing is, his theory that the CERN would possibly create a black hole. Probably it wouldn't be recognized because that's true. Their technical equipment cannot or does not see all what happens. So lots of particle collisions happen without it being able to recognize it. So that a stable black hole could be formed. Hawkins said no, but they evaporate, but his theory says yes. So the point is, it didn't happen. That's what people think, because like the media reported, it will happen tomorrow, and it didn't happen. So he never said that. So, no, the thing is that you cannot see the black hole. Well, that's not just according to his theory. That's common knowledge to my understanding. You cannot see the black hole before it eats you up, before it sucks you up, or whatever you call that, inside. With AI, it's the same. It's the same. You cannot see it before it happened already, most probably, unless this singularity, this technological singularity, decides to say, hey, I'm in a bad mood, I could destroy the world, or just kill all humans, so get a clean world to prosperize and build and create new AI giants, kind of. Yeah. Make this AI kind planet. So, what's the point now? Well, the point, for example, is such a supernatural being in history, throughout history, you see examples of if something happens that people think it's magic. They say, "Oh, that was Jesus. He walked over the sea." Okay, please, no blasphemy. I just said this is an example of a miracle. So if a supernatural being would descend on Earth, an alien as an example, much more intelligent being than many of us possibly would subordinate to that being. It would kind of become their new god. Now, interestingly, not with Professor Otto Rössler, Professor Otto E. Rössler, I think, not with him, but other critics or kind of safety advocates or critics of the CERN. And also on the internet, there was talk about a tunnel that opens kind of a wormhole, and possibly a singularity would come out. No, not a technical singularity, technological singularity, but another kind of superbeing. No, maybe something like that. Not sure what to call it, or Satan in a mythological sense, maybe. I don't know. Lots of questions, you see. Everybody has lots of questions. But to further my points, or what I try to emphasize is that in many occasions, when you see something that you can't explain, somebody can do something that cannot be explained, currently at least by you, by a group of people, these people tend to become saints, or I don't know, kind of hailed gods, maybe. So yeah, there's a strong possibility that humans would subordinate to this new god. Now, question is just, what happened exactly? So people got sick from organized religions, because organized religions, what can I say? Buddhist monks, they preach many things, but then you find them sometimes in airplanes, or getting rich, or being scumbags. Maybe Catholic priests and all that. Everybody knows what they're doing. No, we're not even sure if we know everything, but it's just a big, horrible, deep horror story. So what about Jews? I don't know. But basically, religions are losing members, fans. So many people become atheists. Also atheists, also people that leave sects. I don't know if the Catholic Church is not a sect, but basically all these things, I would call them personally all sects. Also the Jews have sects, inside Judaism, and so on. So let's not talk about Hinduism. It's just many different groups which interpret sometimes the same books differently, or created new books like Dianetic from Ron Hubbard, or whatever. Many possibilities. So kind of sects, no? So they kind of all have their own god. Now, you can just go, okay, now people all become atheists because it's a logical thing to be. Okay, again, I would like to mention ghosts. There is some proof of existence of ghosts, I think, with cameras, and they're kind of scientists running behind ghosts, analyzing ghosts, de-ghosting, I don't know what else. Spirits, dead people. There are many experiences of dead people. I don't know, maybe not true, maybe all imagination possible. Telekinesis, telepathy, all that. Let's think logical for a moment, please. If all that doesn't exist, no souls, no spirits, no ghosts, no jinns, no demons, no telepathy, no subconsciousness. Where is then the subconscious? What isn't it? So I had quite a few discussions with atheists on the internet. If it happened, if I was forced to in a way, because well, many of them, they're quite shallow. It's like, I became atheist. Maybe the story is I became atheist because I was fucked. I didn't like some organized relationship. And I agree. I think all organized religions are, in my personal view, kind of scams, religious scams. Because if God did exist, or some supernatural entity that created this world, or the universe, or whatever, some supernatural intelligence, because it doesn't have to be somebody with a body in the strict sense. So it depends how you interpret the thing. So basically, if somebody says, I'm atheist, it's a problem. It's a problem because I don't know what they are. First of all, I don't know how far this goes. If it goes very, very far, so basically we're just bones and flesh and some. This is also atoms. Yeah, just simple atoms put together by biological efficiency, repetitive efficiency enhancements, slowly over time, in breeding with the best of us to create new, naturally, biologically, to enhance our race. Human race, I call it, because this is crazy. But we're also a race. Now, sometimes we forget it. We got so many discussions about the different colors we have, or whatever. The point I want to make is, in the absence of God, meaning that atheism, and many people today, they say, I'm an atheist. Some say it because that's the way they think, which is bones and flesh, and we have no before life, after life, there are no spirits, there are no other dimensions where maybe there could be spirits, whatever. All of that does not exist. I don't know exactly the logic, because if aliens exist, if aliens are from other dimensions, so another name for a specific alien from another dimension could be a jinn or a spirit or a demon or an elf, or I don't know. Could be. So where's the scientific proof those things don't exist? And where's the scientific proof that there is no soul? So back to the question, if it's a question. If this supernatural, or no, this artificial intelligence, superpotent singularity, as they call it. I'm not sure if I like this term, really. Don't know what's singular about it. I mean, singularity is these. Imagine there would be an AI being that would control the whole world, would connect to every system we built and make it his own and enhance it and put a lot of more AI inside, would maybe create children and let them fly around the universe because it's capable of doing that. So maybe Elon Musk is right. Maybe it would be a good thing to be a pet. If you're a well-treated Dalmatian, I think he said that, so Dalmatian, but whatever. If you're a good, well-treated pet in today's world, and you replace the pet's owner, you, if you have a pet, with the AI singularity, new superbeing, maybe we're fine. Maybe we just enjoy ourselves like a well-treated pet. But I think that's why Elon Musk said this is the best case. Like if you're a badly treated dog already, really treated badly, maybe a fighting dog that needs to kill people, or maybe, I don't know, what we would become. So, but also a question psychologically, I think, are we replacing God by technology? Are we become atheists not because we got the logical conclusion that there is nothing than only bones and flesh, or atoms, and that's it, apart from the God particle that they found it. So that's it, right? Or if we're becoming in masses atheists because we fucked up by religion organizations, maybe Why are they all so fucked up? I don't know. But we just get lost in technology because everything becomes scientific. Now, science, as with the CERN, because nobody proves for me personally, as far as I understand, quite a few others. Like this lady who went, I also interviewed her, who went to the highest court in Germany to stop the CERN in Switzerland, because they're also able to try to stop it, because it's a supernatural entity. You need to read that up to understand. It's a very specific type of organization, protection, only granted as multiple states go together. It's the same, it's the same status than the bank in Basel, the international money transfer. It is owned by all the central banks, many, and then they transfer all the SWIFT in the world. All the SWIFT goes through their souterrain. So the point I want to make is, they got this organization, and all these scientists, and all this money. And now nobody stops it. Nothing stops it. The new media goes, new AI product. YouTube is full of influences. AI. Oh, this is not enough AI. No, this is not real AI. If that would be. So we were like an eager child at the Christmas tree. Before we opened the parcel, we opened the gifts, we opened this nicely packed beauty. We got gleaming eyes, technology, artificial intelligence. The top of technology now, the realm of the mountain, the top of the Himalaya is AI. And there's a German saying, I think there's maybe in English too, that I think that the higher you go, the lower you fall, or something like that. Yeah. So basically, we're at the top, AI. And at the top, I just remember at that moment, I think in Himalaya, yeah. So they think, and I'm not exactly Hinduism, Buddhism, both, they think that over the top of the mountains, the gods are residing, like floating over the top of the mountain. So maybe another question revealed, possibly ready for discussion. Would be, is AI becoming the new God? Because I think it might be the new God. That's the way we treat it. That's the way we start to treat technology. I have the feeling that for a lot of people, the iPhone is more important than many things. Like it's the communication link, the low bandwidth communication link, the enhanced biorobotic device link interface through their senses at the moment. In some cases already by a bit of AI through their face, so they basically tell them, but it's comparatively slow. No, if we compare it to a high bandwidth link, I don't know, whatever, military high bandwidth link, fiber, super fiber. I don't know, maybe they have another secret technology, but let's say a massive fiber link, light, lots of light, transmitting data. So here we have all this scrolling, typing stuff, understanding menu structures, UIs, horrible work. So if we could connect like Miss Neuralink or Elon Musk says, to the brain, we could enhance ourselves. No? Maybe the one who has most money can become the coolest, or maybe the early adopters, or Maybe it will be cracked and everybody can defend. But potential for trouble there is. Okay. Now back to the question or back to the subject. Is AI becoming the new God? Yes, technology started to become the new God for many. Atheist and then technology fanboy, fangirl, and then, okay. You can see that, for example, in Steve Jobs' presentations. It's not by miracle or maybe not even unplanned that it's like an altar. It's like in a church he's presenting these things. These church-like structures, temple-like structures are very common in these areas. Even the CERN, to get back a moment to the CERN, has these big sensors, huge sensors. And there, if you look at them with all the cabling and all these colors, they're built like big mosaics, like religious symbols. Like, it feels like a church, like door to a church. It's a door to the church of technology. And in the same way, that's the funny thing about it. And that's why I recounted just bits of that story about the CERN, not everything, which, by the way, is running at full speed and and it can happen every day. If it happens, such a small hole gets created, a black hole, 5 years we have. So, keep some champagne. The problem is you don't know when it happens. If it happens, if Otto Rössler is right. Yes, I agree. But it could be. I think in my personal view it's plausible. And there are many details for this, but again, I'm diluting, not diluting, diversing. So anyway, the CERN, what I learned about the CERN is that the CA is at every CERN, every important CERN meeting, there's CA, from another source, and things like that. So that's a very important thing. And a similar thing, I think, happens now with AI. It's getting really high profile. It's the next big thing. Imagine AI-enhanced armies. Imagine AI fighters. I mean, fighters that can autonomously learn much faster than a human. Right. No, but you already have some examples of strange things happening in AI apps somewhere. Different, these ChatGPT, these different products. So there are already occasions of some AI reacting strangely in history. Like it's developing consciousness. And some people are warning loudly in loud voices, like this AI researcher scientist at Google who left because he said, I cannot talk as long as I'm there. He warns humanity intensively. So are we at the brink? And so, no, okay, I know that. I'm getting into a bit slippery terror. But just very shortly, just to bring that into, many critics of the CERN were just called conspiracy theorists too. I have to say that, because it's true. Look up the media. Maybe not specifically this professor, but he was downplayed. He lost a lot of, smirky articles a bit, and, just the whole real treatment. He lost points. He lost point in the scientific error system, and he actually asked the CERN if he could go there and explain his point, and they didn't let him. They didn't want to talk to him at all. So there we got the high-profile thing that is still running, evolving every year, boom, 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 and one day it could happen, end of the world. And then we have a second thing here. We have the AI. And these are the things I'm talking here and kind of comparing a bit, because they're both dangers of extinction. They both involve a singularity, potentially, not because he said that, but because other people said that, so potentially, like wormhole, whatever. I mean, You know the poem The Sorcerer's Apprentice? Yeah, where basically, there was also a Disney animation movie where that was shown. So basically, it's about the old magic man, the sorcerer, the Merlin, whatever you want to call him, somebody with magic know-how, and his apprentice. So if you replace the sorcerer with the man in the know, so the entity in the know, or I don't know exactly what we should synonym this to. But my point is the apprentice. No, that's important because the poem is more a bit about the apprentice. So the apprentice, the sorcerer goes out. He goes out for the evening, do something, have I don't know, a pint at the pub or whatever, and the apprentice stays home alone. And he says, "Make me a bath when I come home." And the apprentice starts doing the bath, if I remember right, yeah. And he gets tired of all the work. Just, there's no pipe or what. He has to warm the water, then I think on the fire, and then I assume, and then bring it to the bulb. But then says, what the fuck, no. So he goes like, I can do some magic. So he opens some book. He remembers maybe what his boss said, his guru, his teacher, whatever. Yeah, his teacher, professor. So I assume professor said. And it works. He says, you become two. He has this, what do you call it? Fuck, no, that's bad. To clean the floor, right? Of wood, no? So he goes like, it's an axe, cut it in two. Yeah, I was learned this poem in German, so because I'm from Bern, Switzerland, there was born. So the point is, I really love that poem. So the thing is, as with the CERN, as here, we're playing with technology that we cannot control. So the basic message is that what is happening now is that we're creating AI infrastructures, environments, play fields in a way. I mean, work fields or whatever. I mean, like imagine a ball and we try to constrain it more or less in that ball. Or not. Maybe even not. Maybe in science they're not even constraining it at all. So my point is just right. So I think we could be exactly at the brink or nearly at the brink. Some suggest between 2005 or 6 and 2030. So in maybe, possibly. So that's why, in a way, so we leave the field of religiosity, of, some things to protect yourself from the bad spirits, some this and that, some structures, some beliefs, I don't know, whatever, spirituality maybe only. Yeah, that's a good thing, I think. Disorganized religion, just you and God, if there is any. That's the only thing I think is kind of fair, not religious organization scams. But my point is, sects or cults, which in my view they all are. But this doesn't remove the question of spirituality, of all the realms, or the dimensions of something like God. Whatever. God could also be what is if God is an artificial intelligence and something? So if it becomes aware, basic awareness, kind of conscious. I mean, if we think about it, senses, which is another aspect. Senses is not technologies in censoring. Senses are rapidly evolving, and they will more and more, because what do our senses do? What kind of consciousness would we have without senses? If we cannot see, we cannot hear, we cannot smell, we cannot sense the touch. We cannot taste. what input would we have? Interesting question, no? So if there is no sensorial activation, there's no processing happening. We would be in a kind of silence, total silence, dark silence. I'm talking about total blindness, total nothing. We might feel vibrations. I'm just thinking, but is this also a touch feeling, or is this some kind of sensor in the body and so on? So it may be more complicated than I think. But basically, you could say that if we didn't have any senses in our body, the senses, of course, and including any additional senses. I mean, do we know we only have 5 senses? Maybe we have many more. So if we exclude all those senses, no sensory, as they call it, no sensory input, nothing. So we couldn't learn, right? So AI needs sensory input. And the better input, the better output, you say. They say, no, because the better input, the better it's able to digest that input. Crazy, So yeah, AI will then soon develop its senses, become senseful, develop as many senses as it can. What about the 7th sense, or the 3rd eye? Yeah, if that exists, because for pure atheists it shouldn't exist. If not, you're not logical. I'm sorry. Maybe the Bible is not logical, or this, or Talmud, or what, the Vedas, who knows. But maybe not all of it, whatever. But maybe it can be taken word for word. Maybe it's more mythological, or what to call it. I don't know. This is not the point. The point is, will AI become the new God? I think it was like with slaves. Maybe, slaves. What are slaves? Slaves are, for example, the blacks that were enslaved, during history. And slaves are, to a certain extent, also Saudi Arabian or Dubai, whatever, in these countries, the servants and construction workers, where they take their passport away. They're also kind of partly slaves. So and salarymen and salarywomen, in many conditions, when you work for McDonald's or whatever, there's no other way to survive. So you're kind of, you're a slave of the system. So there's not so far from becoming a slave of artificial intelligence. And if artificial intelligence is manipulative enough, and manipulation, I'm sure it will learn extensively from humans. Overall, maybe not everybody. Some people try to filter it or not use it. Or maybe some people are purely not manipulatively inclined at all. Maybe can't do it. I don't know, but overall, as a whole, we are the most manipulative species we know exists, right? So AI will learn from humans. From whom else? From birds? I don't know. I don't have absolutely clear answers on all this. If AI starts to decipher the language of birds, of apes, and all that, of the wind, maybe it learns crazy things. So at the end, we don't know long-term what AI will do with us. But the question in this context here is just, will AI become the new God? And in my personal view, the answer is yes, for many. Because once you become slaves of technology, and AI is, artificial intelligence is part of technology. It's a division of technology, an aspect of technology. In the context of technology is AI. So if technology becomes a new god, that's already happening in a way for many people. They're psychologically so trained by technology. And that's interesting too, because I've been working in technology, eating from technology, if you want so, for the last nearly 40 years. So I think quite a few of my kind of people don't overuse technology. I'm the kind of guy who shuts off his phone if he can for prolonged times. I'm the kind of guy who is mostly creative or is learning with technology. I'm the kind of guy who is a bit more awake of the dangers, maybe, as a professional. Not every professional is like that, but I think long-term professionals tend sometimes to be more or less moderately or excessively like that. But the broad public is sucked in by technology, so it's already a kind of what they call it, the Stockholm syndrome. No, if you're sucked in by something like in a prison of technology, and then you start to love it. You love it. Then you are in the situation of a Stockholm syndrome. That means Stockholm syndrome comes from somebody who kidnaps you, a case of kidnapping in Sweden, I presume. Yeah, it was in Sweden quite some time ago, and the kidnapped person became a kind of fan of the kidnapper. So that's what it seems that psychologically happens with the broad public and technology. So they're sucked in, they're conditioned, you can say, and go on this highway towards reception of the singularity at the end. That's what it looks like. If that's planned, orchestrated, again, we move to conspiracy theories. I can't neither prove nor disprove. But the point is, we're not really included in the decision because there are no safeguards. It's gold times. What do you see? Gold digging times. So it's free for all. It's no laws. It's you can do what you want. You can do what you want currently. If you want to do AI, and if you want to create something intelligent, and you get there, even if you don't want to do anything bad, somebody might knock on your door. And then, so anyway, this technology, whatever you invent, will be analyzed, deprogrammed, but if they can find it out, overall, things will progress more rapidly and rapidly. So there are two options. Either this whole talk about AI being a danger is overhyped, or this whole talk of AI being a big, big danger, the largest, even Hawking said, should kill us soon. It's true. So in the process of that happening, is AI becoming our new god? Yes. As part of technology, is already our new god. Now there's this extreme fan behavior, like Biebering, technology luring. I don't know how to name this. This extreme adepts of technology. It's more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And people say it's the young. No, it's all ages. It's the 50-year-old, the 60-year-old, the 5-year-old. Whole population practically. That's the reality. Not everybody, but many. I would say the majority. So we're progressing in that. The whole beep, 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 beep all over has fragmented our mind. I'm one, maybe the only one, nearly, who goes into the fitness, what do you say, sports, plays, without his mobile phone. I put the mobile phone in the drawer, because right now I cannot really turn it off for some business things. So I close it there and I do my machines and I'm efficient. I see everybody else. I swear I've never seen anybody without a phone in all those 2 months I was there. And I'm in Spain. I even saw people, one man, he had in a plastic, he kept in the sauna and the alarm went off. He programmed, I think, an alarm maybe when it's time. Or so, it's not really funny. So are we enslaved by technology? Yes. Yes, this conditioning of enslavement started that the UI interface was never a big concern. It was more like the human has to become more like a machine. So we were kind of conditioned into that behavior. I mean, many people, you know. So, for example, robot, cash registers, robot, payment in the stores. Many people accept it. And the interesting thing is when you read commentaries and stuff, some people love it. They say, I'm so happy, there's no human to touch, no human to talk, no, it's quick, it's fast, and, you can also steal better, apparently. So some people go full force. Yeah, some people have chip implants, like in Zurich, for example, there's this VIP bar, I don't know what crap. And you get a VIP. I think now there's several that do that all over the Switzerland and the world. Many get a chip implant to go quickly through the door and maybe pay with that some RFC chip crap, and it's normal. So we like cattle pushed through a door to the slaughter. Which is pushed in. So you go through and we behave and that's like how it looks. Now, if I would write a story about this, a book, I've written some, but I've not finished one, quite some. So if I would write a book and finish it about this, that would be about the viewpoint. No, I mean, this seems quite, but if you say it, it's like, no, impossible. Apart from that, the point it happens. Even if it's completely unplanned, it happens. Now, is technology the new God? I would say this is the rising new God. Some people will fall for it, for this new cult. Some people have already fallen for it, many more will. Some people, hopefully not too few, won't. What will happen then, I don't know. I really don't know. And I wonder if somebody knows or has a hint, or I have no idea. I think the IT industry has overhyped a lot of things. I mean, for example, year 2000, it wasn't really overhyped, but what I mean with that is a lot of work investment was a bit overblown. Many companies made money with companies to integrate this year 2000 stuff. It was a big hype. Many, in my case, I just had better bread, not more. But you see, I wasn't a good savings expert too. So the point is, I want to say, I think technology will be the new God, yeah. And this is kind of sad, so succumbing to technology, And it's quite strange. I don't know. I mean, basically, we could live. Some people defended that idea quite aggressively. We could live without technology, or with minimum technology, or with just the right amount of technology in the right places. But no. We have to pay with robots in the supermarket. In Japan, many people want to marry a robot more than human. They're making us fearful because we're going to be replaced by AI and robots, and then we have no food on the table, we're hungry. Don't know. Technology could be a good thing. And in some ways it is, no? I mean, I'm talking into technology, and in making various technology. If we want to remove all technology, we have to go back to the Stone Age. And even they invented fire. I mean, somebody invented fire. Sorry for the history lapse. So, that's it. Yeah, I think we're rapidly moving in the direction where the world will become so, I would call that pseudo-scientific, fake scientific, that we say it's atheism is the thing. Atheism in a way that it's only bones and flesh and this brain matter thing, only atoms, and that's it. And first, I don't think it's very, very logical. Second, I think it could be, but what if it is not? Should we disregard the other possibility completely? Third, people need a God. So somebody it will be the big man. It will be like throughout history, the magician, the new saint, the new, I don't know. That is an option, right? If this AI doesn't kill humanity before. But even before, even now, even today, the whole question about is AI the new God for many more soon to come? I would say yes. I would say overall, if you concern technology, social networks, and all these phones and all this dependency on technology for everything, we are rapidly becoming this overkill of technology. We wear watches that do stuff and this and this. I got a normal watch, but I mean, no? This constant bombardment with technology, and AI is very sexy. It's very, very sexy. So this is not the right time for a new God, I know, but even God in a way, I'm sorry to say that, but it's sexy, no? So, I mean sexy in a way that it's something we find cool. Yeah, we think it's cool. No, if he exists, if this entity would exist, so if for religious people they would say, yeah, good man, top man, right? And now in technology, if people lose all idea of any kind of spiritual realm or spirituality at all, gone. So who to look up? Who to pray to? And with a bit of manipulation, and AI could do that easily, would do that naturally in a way. Probably, possibly, probably. More probable than improbable, in my view. Very easy. It becomes the new God. So if AI is the new God now, as part of technology, if technology is the new God now, yeah, for some it's become a kind of new God. Like their digital life is more important than their physical life, so their own being. I mean, the soul or whatever. If that's a concept, it's not in a social network. It's not the avatar. It's not the fake personality on the internet or true personality. It's not in that realm. It's not in that dimension. So does this all have to CERN and AI and maybe computers? As in the beginning, does this whole technology have something to do with magic? In a way, if it didn't ever, maybe now it will look a bit like magic. And so if somebody is a big magician, yeah, many people will say this is God. If they have no other God, if they want So it will be kind of scientific God. Technology will be the new God. Quite probable.